Hello everyone. At the end of this video, you will know exactly how to organize your tax information to make it easier for your accountant to file your taxes for you this year. So this means it will increase your chances to have a lower bill to pay your accountant to file your taxes for you. And if not, then it may increase the chances for future years of increases that they may charge you. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Ryan Banks and I post videos to increase your financial knowledge and give you tips and tricks that you can bank on. Also, if you need someone to file your taxes for you this year, I'm available, so you can reach out to me at ryanbankscpa@gmail.com. Now today, I'm going to be breaking down in 5 main categories how you should separate your tax documents for your accountant. So number 1 is your basic information. If you're seeing this new accountant for the first time to file your taxes, they will need your prior year tax return because it has all the basic information they need to file your taxes, like your name, your address, your SIN number, and other basic information like that. Also, they will need your notice of assessment for your prior year tax return because it has an access code at the top right corner, and they will need that code to file your return for you. Next, for the second category, we have your income. So this is income from your job, if you get income from the government, or if you take out money for your retirement. So these slips that you will see are T4s, T4As, T4APs, T4OAS, and other tax slips that relates to your income. So if you have multiple T4s, for example, you want to make sure that the T4s are together, all the T4As are together, so it's easy for your accountant to go through that information. Now we have your investment income. So you will see tax slips like T3s, T5s, T5008s. So you want to make sure that all that information is also together and separated from the income from your jobs. So the last thing is, if you have business income or other income, one thing to consider is potentially having or creating a summary page by hand or a printout in Excel of a summary of all the income and expenses if you have a business, so that it's a lot easier for your accountant to input that information. And then any additional supporting documentation you can attach just under that summary, so it's easy for your accountant to relate to those numbers that you put in the summary. Now the third section I'm going to be talking to you about today is RSP contributions. And this may be a simple one, but you may not know that there are 2 different types of slips. One for the first 10 months of the year, where you make contributions between March and December. And then you also have contributions for the following calendar year that relates to this year's tax return. So that is from January to March 1st or March 2nd if it's a leap year. So make sure that you have both of those RSP slips just in case if you've made those contributions. Now for the fourth section I'm going to be talking to you about today is your deductions and credits. So this is essentially your meat and potatoes, where you get the chance to reduce that taxable income and increase your chances to pay less taxes this year. So some of the general documents you may need to provide your accountant to is some donation receipts, medical expenses, and also move-in expenses. And these 3 types of deductions is maybe a good idea if you have a lot of receipts to create that summary for them, because it can be or take a lot of time for your accountant to go through all those. And I can talk about that personal experience because I had a client once give me over 50 medical bills and I had to calculate one by one, and I don't care who you are, that takes a lot of time. So if you can reduce the time it takes for your accountant to go through all that, there's going to be an increased chance or a better likelihood for you to pay less your accountant to file your taxes for you. Now for other deductions and credits, if you own a home, then you can provide your accountant your property tax bill for the whole year so that they can add that to your tax return. And if you rent, your landlord should give you a summary of all the rent that you've paid for the whole year. So you can definitely add that to the list of documents you need to send to your accountant. And finally, if you pay tax installments, you should definitely go on to your CRA account and go print out a summary of all of the tax installments you've made during the whole year. Now, if you want to know if you have to pay tax installments, the usual rule of thumb is if you have taxes owing of more than $3,000 at the end when you file your tax return, this will most likely trigger tax installments for the next following year. Today, we went through your basic information, your income, your RSP contributions, your deductions and credits. And you want to make sure that any pertinent information and only that information is included in each of those sections. But now you may be asking to yourself, well, I thought you said there was 5 sections. Well, there is. The last one is your other documents. And the reason why I say that is because there's probably some documents out there that you're like, well, I'm not really sure if that relates to my tax return or not. But if you're not sure, just add that into that 5th folder, because it's really easy for your accountant to go through that other document folder just quickly to see if they need to add some of that information into your tax return. As my current boss would say, less is more. So that means that us accountants don't need all that information all the time, because in most cases we don't. But if you want a good rule of thumb, is look back at what your accountant asked you last year of what documents they needed to file your taxes. So that gives you a good start of what documents you need to provide them this year. And again, if you don't know if that document relates to your tax return, put that in that 5th folder. So before I let you go, I just want to thank you for watching this video. And if you need a new accountant, feel free to reach out to ryanbankscpa@gmail.com.